everybody. I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and you are on the lifeboat. What's happening? Guess who I found? Milling
And
about in the
good
parking
evening.
lot outside. Hello, Reese.
Tip of the cap to you as well.
It is such an honor to have you back on again. Let's do a roll call because it bums out
so
new
nice.
people and they complain about it. Kelly B, good to see
They
you.
do it on
Fancy
me, too.
Nancy, how are ya? Sandy Wendy, Sarah Bro, good to see ya. Goddess Divine, the inappropriate heifer. Oddly enough, I was just talking about you. Shani, good to see you. Lord Kiss Freak, great time. Anthony Powell, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're doing well. Jam, good to see you. Lumen, SPTV Tattoo Warrior. Christie's Boutique. Wait a second. Christie's.
Happy birthday to Pauline.
Hello, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Too cool. Do you know that's my lucky number? 52 is my lucky number. Lisa, I got my glasses on. Brazzy girl, good to see you. Thank you for all of the support. Mara, glad to see you. Does anyone know this? That I am Jobbo Baggins. Midnight Show. Is this not the coolest shirt you've ever seen in your entire life?
Oh, that is cool.
Life? Do you see
Did
this
you just
stuff
get
here?
that?
Yes. Do you see the really small writing?
Yes.
It is the story. And the funny thing is that it picks up randomly, right? And when I pulled it out, I could tell you exactly where it started, and I just started going. I'm like, I know exactly what part of the story this is.
Where did you
How
get this?
cool is that? Well, that's the thing. Someone is denying that it was purchased by them, but I have my suspicions. I think it may be our friend, the Midnight Show, but she's making me wonder. So you never know. Rain and I are both here. Joe Virus, good to see you. We're gonna get raw.
Where were you guys an hour ago? You weren't in mine, Rain and Joe. You were not in roll call. You guys missed roll call.
Have a lot going on.
You're gonna hear from me. Did you know yesterday was their 25th wedding anniversary?
I heard that. Is that the coolest thing in the whole world, man? I love it when people are winning.
Had no idea they were even.
I didn't either. That was kind of shocking.
Isn't it weird when people are together for decades? They'll never know what that's like.
It's weird when people are together for 25 months. But when people are together,
I switch husbands too quickly.
Or maybe you just choose poorly. I'm not casting any aspersions because I've not done well myself. I've never showed any real skill in that department, although Squirrel has been nothing shy of perfect. Franklin, good to see you. Love the shirt, right? This is the coolest shirt ever. It really is. Today, folks, we're going to get, you heard that on cue. Did you hear that? Today, folks, we're going to get raw. We're going to do this. We have found that when we dare to go there, so to speak, and I don't mean being cheeky, as our Aussie friends would say. I mean when we're serious and we dare to go into some subject matters that sometimes are uncomfortable, or sometimes make you grab a box of tissues. That, although a lot of you say in the emails, boy, I had to turn that off. All of you go back and watch. The numbers are fantastic, and a lot of people. Squirrel, do not do that. Sorry, my cat is eating my very, very expensive sunglasses. But we're going to delve back into it because there are a couple of things that we did not get to that I really wanted to ask you that I think unite us in some ways. I think it's one of the reasons that Squirrel, what are you doing? I think it's one of the reasons that we get along as well as we do. And here's my question for you. Now that you are out and have been out for about a year, do you find it difficult thinking, right, in a different language? Do you understand what I'm asking you?
100% I do.
Okay.
It's difficult isn't even the word. That question really threw me. I had no idea you were going to hit me with the hard question right there. Difficult isn't, that's not even close. Yes, it's very hard. Now, it's easy only because nobody speaks the language anymore. I'm the only person left on the island. I don't speak no one speaks the language. It's antiquated. It's archaic. There's no one around that speaks it.
I don't know that would make it easier for me. So the reason that I asked this is when I showed up in prison, right? I was never a dumb guy, right? I definitely educated myself more, but I wasn't stupid when I showed up. But there was a language that everybody spoke in there that I didn't speak, right? I didn't understand anything anybody was saying there. These words that meant nothing to me, guys carrying clavos and delivering kites. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell anybody's talking about. And right around the time I figured out what the language was, I was leaving to go back into the real world. And after more than a decade, I thought in those phrases. And I thought it's not a matter of just how you speak. It gets so when I try to describe a story to somebody, or I try to describe the verbiage and everything in my head, I can't put it together in a language that isn't convict. If that makes sense. It was a real struggle for me when I first got out. And it's sometimes, I think it's why it's refreshing when you get together with people who are ex-Scientologists, because you obviously speak a language the rest of the planet doesn't, and it probably makes it, I don't know, warm and fuzzy. Am I right?
Yeah, and you seem to understand that for whatever reason. I mean, I think you do. You act like you do more than other people. It is truly when he says a language, guys, it's not. It's absolutely true. There are two different full thick dictionaries that L. Ron Hubbard wrote based just on full Scientology lingo words. And it truly is switching. I mean, if I was in a, I don't do it with ex-Scientologists. I mean, I talked to Sterling yesterday and I said, there are sometimes, and it seems to happen with Sterling the most, but there are some things that I can't think of the English word for it. So I
Right.
say to him, like, I'm just going to have to do this Scientology style, do it dirty. I'm going to have to ride dirty and I'm going to have to say it. And so I'll do that. But it truly is a different language. So it's not hard because nobody speaks it. But it's hard
See,
because I say it in my head. I go out and about and I'm like, oh, I feel third partied right there. That guy's kind of low tone there. I don't like, I'll say it in my head.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's nobody to speak it with. So I don't know.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Valerie
Valerie.
102. That's awesome. See, I got onto the same thing. There are phrases in prison that we have. Kelly B will understand what I'm talking about. There are phrases in prison we just do not have a word for on the street. The dry snitch, right? This is a
Did you just
concept that
say the dry snatch?
snitch, the dry
Oh, I'm
snitch.
so
It's
sorry.
that little thing you catch when you play
I thought you were on
Quidditch.
my channel for a minute.
No,
Okay.
no, no. We're
Okay.
on this.
What does that
It's what
mean?
you chase when you play Quidditch. Dry snitching is the act of telling on somebody without telling on somebody. You know what I mean? It's like when you sit in the day room and two people are fighting in a cell and you go like this and you turn and stare at it and then you slap the dude next to you so that he stares at it. And the guy sitting across the room goes, I wonder what's happening over there. That's called dry snitching. And that's just one example of how it is done. However, be nice.
I was reading a text. I'm not laughing at anything. I'm reading it. A friend sent a funny text.
Okay. It wasn't me, just for the record. I don't think. Might have been.
Luckily,
No,
a
so
lot of my
I
people are over
struggle.
here and understand me. Go
I
on.
struggle really viciously sometimes to make people understand. It's a very difficult thing to try to make. I can't paint a picture the way I want to because for 10 or 13 years, I spoke a way that no one else does. Right.
Correct. It is
And
truly
I
weird.
struggle with it.
Yes. For whatever reason, Sterling is the main person that I speak the language with still. I don't know why.
How long
Aaron
has
doesn't
Sterling been
even
out?
seem to know the language anymore. Sterling has been out a long time. I think since like 2000.
Okay. Well, good to see you. By the way, your
It's just,
fingers are not big enough to do the two dictionaries of L. Ron Hubbard stuff.
oh, they're
For
huge.
about 5 months, I had one of them in my home, and I'm not kidding you. It's 4 or 5 inches thick, and it's one of two.
Actually, that's not true.
Fingering through it. It's bizarre.
That's actually not true. There's more than two. There's the biggest one that's probably about this thick. No joke. It's probably like 3 or 4 books in one, and it's called the Small Common Words Dictionary. And he wrote
The
that
small
too.
common words. I didn't see that one. That's
Yeah.
but it's ridiculous. It really is.
Well,
you know what?
luckily I was born speaking it.
Well, and that's really, I think, why this is fascinating to me, because you learned it's like being bilingual, right? So it's not me. That's not me then, huh?
What?
Hello, everyone. Chrissy, good to see you. How are you? Okay. As long as LRH just made up definitions to words. Yes, he did. Made up words and then made definitions up for the words that he made up as well. Christian, don't help. don't everybody. So, are you a baseball fan?
Anyway,
okay.
Do you want me to read this or?
Yes, I thought it was to you. It seemed apropos.
Reese, I was late earlier about Huxley. My mom always said, I don't know how smart you are, but you know how to behave. Yes, yes. Well, it's a serious thing, teacher nurse. And I have always been a bit of a strict mom when it comes to manners and being polite to people. And I do not screw around with it. He's known that from the very get-go. I don't like little kids that cross the lines. I don't like adults that cross lines. So what do you think? Anyway,
I had a close friend who was a prosecuting attorney, believe it or not. In fact, he was a district attorney, and somehow we ended up being very good friends after I left prison and I lived in Nevada. And we were talking one day, and his boy had gotten in trouble in school, and this boy was young, like really, really young. But he said to me, I don't care if he gets D's throughout the rest of his time in school, but if he leaves school like a solid citizen, he said, I think that's what really needs to happen. He's like, the grade thing, I'm really not too hung up on. And I thought, wow, it's pretty wild, but
yeah.
I like it. I think that there's really something to, it seems like it's going away. Grizzly Heat, good to see you, my brother. Glad that you are here. So I have a couple more questions. This
Please.
concept of drawing in bad things to you, to yourself, right? I know that I know a lot of people who went through the Scientology version of rehabilitation, which really seems a lot like torture. If you've ever seen how they do this, they're fond as hell of saunas and spending really large amounts of time in them, and had some pretty horrific things happen in the state of Oklahoma in particular. They did not do particularly well. But how do they explain drug addiction? So did you do something foul as a child? Did you do something foul in a previous, what is it that makes somebody a junkie or a drug addict or an alcoholic?
Well, I did the Scientology drug rundown, but drugs are, L. Ron Hubbard talks about a lot in a lot of books. Drugs are a huge, huge thing on the whole track. The whole track is back where we started 76 trillion years ago, and you live each life, as one does, you know what I mean? And he says that drugs and hypnosis and all of that are just something that the word in Scientology, another Scientology word is called re-stimulate, which basically just means to trigger. It means triggering. So drugs are re-stimulating to human beings. We have been doing drugs for trillions of years. And so he has a lot of auditing actions to handle the drug case. So it's not really a body thing. It's your case. And your case is the mind, the reactive mind. So you're wanting to handle the case. So you start with the guy that's really low, someone like you who walks in off the street. We would do a purif on you, which is where you go sit in the sauna and you sweat and you get out this lifetime drugs in this body.
Right.
But then once you're seasoned and we take a few more credit cards from you and hand over your signature and you sign, that's where you do the drug rundown, which I've done. And that's where you handle past life. You go through the drug. And then the next step is on right before you go clear, NED, New Era Dianetics. You do some NED drug rundown. And that handles gets more into the drug case, and that handles, and then you go clear. And then I think OT3 maybe Also, drugs are handled at various points on the bridge the more you are seasoned. And then it's supposed to just blow, which means not the same kind of blow, different kind
Right.
of blow where it just goes. It's gone. You're no longer a drug case. You've handled every drug you ever did on the whole track. So I don't know if that answers your question, but drugs are a huge part of Scientology, like handling drugs.
They're
Everything's a
also
drug, by the way, too. Like when I did
right.
my Scientology drug rundown, I had to run out every cough drop I ever took. Took hours, thousands of dollars.
The funny thing is there's a ton, and I do mean a ton of evidence out there that he did more dope than I did. Elron was a fan, which I find really, really funny. But
I mean,
I
that's the
think that
rumor. I don't know.
yeah, there's some pretty interesting stuff out there. I've actually done a couple of videos. But he regardless, one way or the other, the interesting thing to me is I feel like he definitely was a smoker, but back then nicotine, I don't think anybody on the planet quite thought nicotine was a drug in the that really barbiturates were not when I did the deep dive. No, it seemed that he was more into amphetamines, but
Wow.
again, yeah, he's gone. But the word is and to be that prolific a writer, right? If you're someone who does drugs, like it's not hard to see a guy sitting at a typewriter tweaking for 25 years, right? The most published man in history, right? I
Yes,
mean,
he
they
is.
granted if he wrote, "Hey, I'll be home at 7 o'clock," they then copyrighted that and said, "Hey, check it out. He wrote more stuff." But there's a lot of stuff that the man wrote. Didn't he? If I'm mistaken, correct me. But didn't he basically write how to do everything? Isn't there a doctrine on how to scrub a floor, do a window, clean a
Yep,
toilet?
there is.
That
Yep.
to me is so bizarre. It
I
really
mean,
is.
it's
It's
you
so
know what's even
bizarre.
more bizarre is that people worship him, that say he's the best friend humanity's ever had, and so it's bizarre to you. But when I was in the bubble, we were thanking him daily for teaching us how to scrub toilets
Correctly.
the
The
correct way.
the to me their Narcanon thing, whatever program, to me has always just been like I think probably one of their greatest recruiting tools. I know personally 3 OT8s, and they were all junkies. Every single one of them got into uh, Scientology because they were strung out really badly on heroin, and all went
Hmm.
through the LA program to
Hmm.
get clean because basically every other program in LA had kicked them out. Uh, Addicts sometimes used to do spin drives to avoid drug dealers, guys that you owed a ton of money to. You could just go check into a place, disappear for a month, come back out. And when all else failed, they would show up on Scientology's doorstep because they're ready to bring people in. But
Yeah.
I think it was a great recruiting tool for them. I think
Hmm.
that's probably that, and obviously, the hustle of every chiropractor in America, every dentist in America, all of these sort of side businesses. That's another one of the things that I was fairly interested in. If you don't mind, your father has donated $1 million. You said the last time we did an interview, correct?
Couple million. Hmm.
Yeah. What is he? How does he generate his cash? I mean, what industry is he in? Because
Have you seen
they tend.
Ozark? I don't. Uh whatever it is, looking back on it, it feels a bit shade. He has owned a construction company since he was like 17. That's what he does. And he had tons of crews and went around and did mainly roofing, but a lot of like windows and siding and home improvement, like type, stuff like that. Super, super busy. I mean, he made a lot of money doing it, but looking back now, I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't have any problem saying this at all. Every single one of them I ever met was crooked. I mean, but maybe it's because I was crooked. So the circles that I kind of ran in, right? I didn't tend to run into people that were real stand-up cats, but they do tend to hang out in specific industries, and all of those industries are just jinky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
multi-level marketing, business opportunity, public speaking, all of those industries are just, there's a ton of Scientologists in them. This is good.
Yeah.
Does Scientology pay for people's rehab if they join? Well, I guess it all depends on how you look at it.
Scientology doesn't pay for anything. I mean, that's something Aaron points out a lot that I never thought about. Scientology does nothing to help the community. Nothing. They don't pay for anything. And I mean, especially a Scientologist, but they don't pay to help anybody with anything. Yeah,
Do you know what's funny,
he's in
though?
waste management. Yeah.
I will tell you this. So, as I have said in the past, I've run almost every scam you could run. I've been pretty honest about this, yeah. And one of them, as I have talked about, was a charity, and we did some good things, and we also stole a ton of money. Now, that charity, we would fly food, and a lot of it ended up in Africa. But Scientology would show up places we were all the time, and they had a way better press crew, but they didn't unload a whole lot of stuff. You know what I mean? There's a lot.
No, they took a lot of pictures though. Yep.
They do, for real. Like they showed up in
We
places
had to
we
do
were
that all
all
the time. Yep. We had to do that all the time. We had to be on camera for pictures.
Interesting. How are
Credit
you paying for it?
cards. Credit cards. Credit cards.
And in a business like this, she doesn't mean like, oh, somebody had the idea. They did this systematically, for real. Like they taught people how to teach people to go get some cards, to run that crap up. And they also were doing it. My understanding was to a lot of people, like you start joining the, these organizations. That's a real easy way to crank up a whole lot of money, right? Is take some people who are in there, get some credit cards, max all that crap out on their name. What difference does it make? They don't need credit.Ey're not going to be buying a car, right? They signed a $1 billion contract.
Yep.
Doesn't much matter. It's terrifying. It really is. It's terrifying. So the last time we talked, we had a Silence of the Lambs moment. I'm sorry. It really is. It's a Silence of the Lambs moment. I asked you about your stuffed dog. You remember this? Does this stick out? And the dog's
One
name
sec. Hey, Hux, do me a favor. Come here. I'm sorry, but I started a new candle tonight and it's giving me a headache. It's so bad. Can you blow that out? And I would say burn it, but that wouldn't make any sense. It's awful. Thank you so much, son. Yeah. All right. Don't forget to do the litter box. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that, but it's killing me. Like Thanksgiving, the smell is so bad. Go on.
What was I saying?
My stuffed dog. Sounds of the Lambs.
Yes. Thank you. The stuffed dog was a if I remember correctly, you said it was a German Shepherd.
Yes.
Was it the biggest dog in the entire did you go for a huge dog? What made you pick a German Shepherd?
Do you mean the size of this thing? Was it huge?
I'm fascinated by this stuffed animal. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm fascinated by its name. I'm fascinated by the fact that you were turned loose and could pick anything you want and chose.
He's probably about 14 inches long. No, he's not huge.
Okay.
He's an average sized stuffed animal. I named him Butch. I remember exactly the moment I picked him out. It was my 5th birthday. I went to Toys R Us with my mom. My dad never let us do this because he controlled all the money. And she said, you can pick out one toy. And I remember exactly where he was. And I grabbed him and I just did not let that thing go. I still have it. I don't know how I still have it, but his tail fell off and my mom had to sew it back on and she sewed it on upside down. So his tail's not right.
Yeah. Like what's his name from Winnie the Pooh?
Oh yeah.
Eeyore's got a tail like that, doesn't he?
Yes, I think he does. So his name's Butch and I named him Butch and I still have Butch and I don't know how I still have that thing. Honestly, I really don't know how. I've moved to so many places. I've done so many drugs. I have no idea how that thing is still with me. Makes sense to why I chose him and he's still with me. It
does make sense to me. I think and I thought the name was interesting. I thought that's a strong name. Now, how old were you?
I was 5.
5. Okay. I'm fascinated by that.
You
For sure.
are, and you're wanting to know why I named him Butch.
I am wanting to know why you named him Butch.
I
At 5.
um I chose that name because I absolutely saw that thing and I just had to have it because I felt safe looking at him. I just felt protected by him. I felt like, I think after you and I did these interviews last week, I did some digging, and I think I came up with quite a few conclusions, and I think one of them was I felt extremely unsafe. I did not feel protected, and not unsafe physically, I think, but as mean as my dad was, and he kind of made fun of us a lot, he laughed at me a lot. I think I felt like I was picked on a lot. I just didn't feel safe or comfortable. And so I chose that thinking like this will be offer me some sort of protection. And then I realized, um, yeah, I don't know where I heard that name, honestly, at the age of 5. But it's a tough name. And
It is a tough name.
yeah, and I think I wanted him to fend off and attack my father, probably, honestly. But I realized something. You made me realize. I mean, I can't tell you, Tommy. I don't know if I've told you this. Every time I try to talk to you, we don't ever have time. But I, I that opened some big deep thoughts for me when you asked me. It was such a simple question. Why did you name him that? And the significance. And I've never ever thought about it. And then I thought about it, and I've been thinking for a while now. I think it started there, but because of that time in my life at such a young age, I think from then on, without realizing it until a few days ago, I tend to reach externally only for not women, but men for protection. I'm constantly looking for that. I'm constantly like, please keep me safe, kind of save me, I have that mindset. And I realize that I do that all the time. I choose men hoping, like tough guy type, like hoping that they're going to offer that up to me. And I really truly never, it just hit me so fast after I was thinking about your question on that. And I thought, oh my God, that is something I've been doing since I was 5. I've been looking for that. And then I realized something else. While I'm doing that, I'm looking externally. I'm tearing that hole that's already there, trying to fill it. I'm tearing it even bigger. I'm making that hole, trying to fill that hole worse by tearing myself down and going, you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not going to ever, find that guy because you don't deserve that guy. You're not ever going to make your own money. I say that in my head to myself all the time. I hate to say this, but I really think I'm unattractive physically. I know that upsets you guys, and I'm not saying it so people can go, "Oh, Reese, you're so pretty." I'm not looking for validation, but I truly feel that way. And I realized the other day I was sitting there and I was like, while I'm reaching externally looking for this to fill, I'm tearing that hole bigger because
Oh, yeah.
I'm just tearing myself down, but I'm looking for someone to fill it. So it's never filled. And I just thought maybe I should just stop doing that. Don't look externally, maybe turn it and look internally. And
Interesting.
just stop. Just stop doing that. Stop looking for Butch, like stop doing that. Because honestly, I don't do people get saved? I don't know.
Some do. Yeah, some do. Not all of them, for sure. And you could probably find people to debate both sides of this, whether or not being saved is a good thing. More often than not, if somebody actually saves somebody, you'll resent them viciously for it later and hate them. Right? That happens with a lot of people. Not with everybody. There are people who love being saved. It really is such a complex dynamic, but I think it's fascinating that you're going down. Wow, what a great freaking comment. I think you're going down
Absolutely, Tracy. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I said that in therapy. I was like, what if I
be
saved
my own Butch.
myself?
Be your own Butch. Well, and the really cool thing about this is a concept, right? With what we do, I'm a wreck. I'm an emotional cripple. I'm not here telling anybody that I got my crap together. What I'm saying is I put together a really kick-ass set of tools for what I do when I melt down. Like I got a list of the things that I do so that I can get back on track without sticking a needle in my arm or going down some other road that's not going to be productive, right? But I think that a common misconception is that somehow we quit doing drugs or we get sober and things go. And we're like, hoo, check me out, I'm perfect, right? Haven't had a bad day in 8 years. Most of them suck, but we figure out a way to get through the 8 minutes that you got to get through, because that's about how long it actually takes to put a craving to bed. If you actually take the right time, it takes 8 minutes. You talk to the right person, you'll forget about it, right? So you put a group of people together. Irene, I'm glad you're here. I really am. Welcome to the boat. Irene says, Reese, you're an amazing person, as is Tommy. That's why we tune in. You're real people.
Thank you, Irene.
Well,
that's so nice. It was really nice.
That is a cool thing to say. And you know what? I'm glad that you've been seen. You know, sometimes we're pretty good about it here. We really are. Sometimes, really funny thing happened. This is no joke, right? I heard somebody's been sending me emails for probably 2 months. And it's the same thing. No one says hello to me, right? Bop, 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 bop. I said, it's astounding because I never remember seeing you say anything in the live. And I'm pretty good about this stuff, right? The dude's never caught alive. This dude's been going to shows that are being played after the fact and listening to me go, hey, everybody, I'm Captain Tommy Scoble, and you're on the lifeboat. And he's going over and leaving a comment in the comment section and waiting for people to fire back a comment. It's strange things happen, but I promise you, Irene, around here, people usually descend to say hello. And now that we know you, you're in deep trouble. But I think you're brave, Reese. I think that at the 1 year mark, people, and I'm talking about 1 year out of anything. Forget what you're going through. I'm talking about people who are sober for a year. The reflection that it takes to go down that road and to start taking apart the why you might name something butch or any of that. And I think that go ahead, please.
No, Tommy, it was just wild. That it was such a simple question. And I can't believe the fire it lit. I just kept going back further and like it just had more roots to it. And I was like, that is weird. It's an interesting question and it's an interesting answer. Why did I name that thing Butch? And I picked a German Shepherd and it's just different. And I feel like I've been kind of, like I say, looking for that. And I'm not going to stop doing that because the external thing, I mean, I really do like the idea. I mean, this sound, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't. I like being in a relationship. I really love being married. I've always enjoyed so it's not that I'm like, I'm not pulling away. I'm still looking for that. I still think it's out there, but I think it's been uneven my whole life. Like I've been looking to someone going, protect me, save me. No, I think it needs to be more, structured and like I can hold myself up. We're just more of an equal partnership. Like I think it's better to go, I know you're here for me, but I'm also equally here for you. And we're going to be each other's safety nets instead of me just leaning on somebody going, please, like, oh, I'm a mess. Just, I think it's better to, here's me, here's you. Like, I don't fall down, I just feel like I kind of have been this sappy, like, I don't know. It sounds terrible, but I'm not going to stop that part because I really enjoy that part of life. I guess what I'm trying to say, like Chow Yun Smut, she's in here. She's a good example. We've talked about it and she's open about it. I saw it tonight. Some people want to be single. Some people are like, yeah, I've been burned and I don't want to do that again. I am such a believer in it. Like I like that part of it. And I hope that I never don't. I enjoy that. Just sometimes it's not right, but you just keep going until it is.
Yeah. There are about 9 really huge cartoon dogs named Butch going back to the 50s.
Thank you, Blake.
Right? All of the really large front end dogs like this that Warner Brothers did were all named Butch, right? So, and that was something that I found that was in the back of my head. It was one of the reasons that I first asked you the question because the dog that always beats on the smaller dog in all of the Warner Brothers cartoons is named Butch. So I thought that was kind of funny, but without doing the armchair, hey, I'm a shrink. It's you can see a pretty obvious reason why at 5 this started to be a really big deal, and you can probably see why you struggle with body image, right? If not, I can really help you out with this. Your
Yeah, I kind of
father at
need
the
you to
age of
connect the
5,
dots.
your dad at the age of 5 should have been a dad, right? Not a weirdo in a cult. Sorry, but what he did, and it's a fantastic lesson to anybody out there that's paying child support but doesn't visit. The damage that you can do by not being in your daughter's life is astounding, right? Seriously, what you can do to somebody. And I think that I don't want to jump on a soapbox, but I think we've gotten to a point where a lot of people believe that men are kind of expendable when it comes to relationships. And your dad falls in love with you when you're a girl, for real. You fall in love with your daughter. How could you not? And that's what a girl should see. And your dad was in love with that floating needle, and it sucks. But don't give up on the idea that you can have somebody that's going to protect you, because you can have somebody that's going to protect you and still have a balanced and healthy relationship. But what you can't look for is that person to be everything, to be the life preserver, to be
Right.
I think that people who come out of structure, right? Prisons like this, you understand? Viciously. You got to worry about somebody hurting you, but you do not have to worry about anything else. Your bills are paid. Right? There's no bills. They're going to provide food. They're going to provide clothing. The only thing you got to do is make sure nobody's going to hurt you. And that may sound horrible, but once you get that down and it's not that tough a process, it's a fairly easy life, right? As far as what you have to take care of. And then you get out in the real world, and the number of guys that come out of prison and get married in 15 minutes, almost everybody that I know that leaves prison is married in a half an hour, because they need someone to take care of them, right? They wouldn't even know where to do laundry. They wouldn't know where to go shopping, right? 25 years of taking a piece of paper and handing it into a little machine to get, a bag of groceries delivered is that, there's no concept for how much different it is. And I think that the cults, especially this particular freaking cult, is so restrictive. It's very much prison-like. It really is. And I think
Oh yeah.
the combo of that protection of being in something so structured, and then that being gone, and having zero positive male influence in from dad, I think that this is a recipe but the fact that you're onto that in a year, right? You have a hell of a counselor, or you're doing really good work yourself, one or the other. Because I was 5 years into my recovery when I finally figured out what the hell was going on in my life, and I was working on it around the clock. I really was.
Well, I don't want to sit in it, Tommy. That's probably one of the benefits, one of the few benefits of being an overthinker. I mean, since I was outed way before I started therapy, I was sitting there just going in circles, going, how do I undo this? How do I fix this? How do I unlearn this? I think just a million miles a minute. I think I was just going like, how can I improve? Like I told you the other day, I don't sit in depression.
Oh. Sorry, the cat was tearing a door apart. How can I know who I want when I have no clue who I am either? Ergo, the narcissistic, abusive handlers my entire life. Hello, Misha. I look forward to getting to know you better. Misha, this is not, this is everybody. I mean, honestly, I don't know that anybody coming out of a long-term anything knows themselves, right? It's a process, to be sure. Reese, how did your dad grow up? What challenges did you learn about that may have contributed to his behavior?
I did not know his father, but I from all I've heard, he was amazing. He died of leukemia, and he hated his mother. I love you, Deb S. I met her in Seattle. He hated his mother, fiercely hated that woman, and he hated his. This is really weird. I don't know if anybody knows this. His brother, David, was also a Scientologist, hated him. They were totally disconnected from each other. That's unheard of in Scientology. You don't do that.
No.
So he really hated his family. And then he went on to marry 4 women with many, many children. Because I think he connected with, he loved those kids. He loved all of the kids that he was a stepfather to. So it was very, I don't follow. I don't know. I don't know why he did that. I know that like he married a woman with 5 kids and I met them and he was getting married and I went to the wedding and the girls, there were 2 girls, 3 boys, and 2 of the girls were close to my age. And he looked at me before the wedding and he said, "Don't you love those 2 girls?" And I said, "They're really nice." And he said, "I wish that you could have been like them."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like,
He's a real prize. I don't think there's any.
so, and that's the other, he used to comment on my weight quite a bit, but there was one, and I think this is why I compare myself and I tear myself down all the time. I remember he was dating, my dad dated a lot. He was always bringing women home. And he was dating a lady in Kansas City. And he showed me a picture of her. Her name was Melinda. And I said, I think I was 11 when this happened. I might have been 10. And I said, "She looks older." That's what I said. I just said, "She looks older." And he said, "Well, at least she's not as fat as you are." And I remember shrinking like I wanted to die. I absolutely, like, even saying it, I'm just like, so that's easy to figure out. Like, yeah, that's probably why I go around feeling like, ugh, there was no building a person up.
To be sure, he's a particular kind of prick. And I'm sorry to hear that other's keeper. It says he sounds like my dad in that way. You do realize that this comes from a horrific, right? A horrifically damaged human being. Number one, meet somebody that says, "I hate my mom," right? Meet a guy who says, "I hate my mom." And usually there's something going on in their childhood that probably wasn't pleasant. Doesn't give you a pass. You don't get a pass. Sorry, it's not that world. You don't get a pass. You have a responsibility. And your dad was so broken that anything that you said that challenged that man in any way, right? For real. It sounds like a textbook narcissist is what it sounds like. For you to say she looked old, I mean, it challenged what, his image of trophy was and what he was bringing in. He couldn't have that. So he was going to slap down whoever said it, whether that person was 5 or 11, because he's a freaking hero, a narcissistic piece of crap hero. And that's sadly a lot of men end up and a lot of women end up with people like that. It's a sad thing, but we're in a society now that creates people like this far more often. This was a rarity a long time ago, but now by the time you're 13, you have taken 400,000 pictures of yourself with one hand. Right? It's we're really creating kind of a different world that we live in. Yes. Fancy Nancy says, and by the way, Fancy Nancy and about 500 other people just heard what you said and gasped. Fancy Nancy's daughter said, "How horrible."
I love Fancy
Send Reese
Nancy.
a hug. Yeah, you could. I think a big furry hug probably wouldn't be such a bad idea.
I kind of want to bring something up that's not comfortable, guys. This isn't going to be comfortable, so please don't be upset with me. I hate to bring this up, Tommy, but we're on the subject, and it was one of those questions like you asked me about Butch, and it's made me think ever since.
Uh-huh.
I was at lunch yesterday, and I was talking to Jeff about it and my dad, and I don't know why we were talking about it, and he said, I hope I'm not crossing a line here, but he said, "Did your dad, do you think that you were anything inappropriate ever happened there as a child?" Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And I said, "I don't think so. I mean, I don't." He goes, "You don't have any memory of that?" And I said, "No." And he said, because things sometimes happen and then you repress it. And I said, "Yeah." I said, I think he hated us so much. Like, my dad didn't hug me. He didn't tell me he loved me. I think I get the idea maybe from movies, but dads who do that overly are touchy, feely, love their little girls, and it's inappropriate. But then he didn't ask me any more questions, and I started thinking about it. I mean, I don't recall anything. That's the truth. I don't recall anything other than I remember sleeping with him at a much older age, like 8, 9. Again, nothing. I have no memory of anything there, but what was I doing sleeping with him?
Nightmare. I mean, that was
No?
usually what brought my kids. That's usually what brought my kids to the bed, is when they had a bad dream. You know, that was usually, if my kid was in my bed, it was because they just had a nightmare. But
I'm kind of I'm trying to put it together, and I think for me it was a safety thing again. My mom had left, my sister had left, and I think I was probably freaked out. We were in a big house, and but I don't know. I mean, just thinking about it now, I'm like, that's a little weird. Not that I'm trying to put something there. I don't recall anything. End of story. There's nothing there. I'm not trying to make something out of nothing.
right.
But I am trying to question, kind of like you asked me the other day about the dog. I'm like, what was that about though? Like, why wasn't he like, hey, you need to go, back to your own. I mean, I did this pretty repeatedly. I know my reasons were probably that I was scared.
Huh.
I know I was nothing like I am now. I was a very shy kid, very, very nervous all the time. Walking on eggshells, I would say.
This is also something that is I have found more and more and more of as I became the captain of the lifeboat, that so many people become very big personalities, right? And it's a defense mechanism, right? This is why, sadly, we lose comedians, right? Amazingly, the number of comedians who choose to leave this planet under their own hand, right, is an astounding number. And it's because, right, science has kind of backed this up. You know, there are roles that people take on within every family dynamic, whether that family dynamic is something that you're born into or whether you are thrown into a prison, right, or any kind of a situation where you are surrounded by people. There are going to be roles that are taken on. One of those roles is going to be the comedian. And what that person does always is to knock the edges off of the situation. And as things get tense, that comedian comes out and takes over, so to speak. Heifer says guilty. I bet a bunch of us are, because this is a personality that very often ends up addicted, right? This is one of those, archetypes that end up the class clown, the family comedian. This is a role. And there's a bunch. There's the scapegoat. There's that kid that just takes it, right? And that's what they do. And if you look at all of these, it's painful stuff. But these are the kind of things that if you kind of want to get to the end of that roadmap, right? There's probably 4 or 5 books that a person can read, and there are some things that you can do. If you had told me, right, say a decade ago that I was going to be writing in a journal 3 or 4 times a day, right, and that it was going to become probably the most important thing in my life in terms of how I lived, I would have laughed my ass off. I'm sorry, because it just was not at all the kind of person I am or was. But I have found that it's like the counselor that you don't have to pay, right? They never tell you that your time's up. And I never go, oh, I can't tell this person this, right? I have a counselor I've told Reese about. I have a counselor that's still in Nevada, who I do not have any hang up telling anything. But that's rare. The other two, there are things I won't tell them because I'll feel weird. But that journal is never an issue that way. You know what? That seems to be a look at that. Isn't that something?
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Virginia.
She's one of the nicest people I've ever met, by the way. Virginia is an absolute angel. An absolute angel. True story.
That's sweet. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, so this is good though. You start to scratch these surfaces and you start to make sense of things that, right? Here's one that will help. You have a bunch of people who sit here every day and go, man, woman's beautiful. Now, I'm going to tell you something straight out. I've told many people, I've told this in the past. I can find something nice to say about everybody. I really can. I can find something nice to say about everybody. But when I was doing their new Tommy thing and I wanted the page 3, the brand new Tommy, and I was working with my boy, he said to me, the first thing on that list you wrote is you weren't going to lie. I said, yeah. He goes, don't lie to anybody about anything, not even the little ones. I said, man, if you don't tell a little white lie, do you have any idea how many people you're going to bum out? He said, all of them. You're going to bum out all of them. But if you say to somebody, you're beautiful, they're going to believe you, right? Because you don't BS on the small crap. Do I look fat in this outfit? Yeah, don't wear that ever again. Seriously, get that the hell out of your collection. And while you're at it, that color, damn, don't do it ever again. If you got 5 things in the closet of that color, toss them out. And if you're honest like that across the board with other stuff, I get things all the time. Somebody sent me a deal today that said, one of the things I respect about you the most, Tommy, is you're really honest. Probably too honest, and sometimes it hurts people's feelings. But at least I'm honest. So if somebody says, hey, you know what? You look fantastic. You don't feel like maybe the person's saying that to be kind. I can come up with hey, I love the shade of that fingernail polish, right? That's my go-to. Pretty safe. It's honest. And
yeah, but it's hard.
Go ahead.
It's just harder, Tommy. I don't know. I only speak as a woman, but it's hard to believe that stuff.
I believe that.
It's hard for me. It's really hard for me to not reject
I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt that at all. You got programmed from the age of being really, really young to believe that you weren't what you are, right? And the person who you trust most on planet Earth to take care of you and make sure you don't die, right? Make sure nobody can do anything bad to you. The person that is supposed to be the ultimate caregiver of that tells you you're fat. Geez, I wonder why. This is hard now at 39. I mean, honestly, that's programming, right? That's programming. A parent programs a kid, whether you want to realize that or not. That's what we're doing. Even if you don't think you're doing it, or even if you're not meaning to do it, it's what we're doing. He lied to you. He BS'd you because he couldn't handle his own issues. Good God.
Well, I realized that. So I was in my I do like my therapist a lot. I go every week, and I was in my therapy with him the other day, and I was talking about that.
Is it him? Is he handsome? Is this a handsome man here in media? Is he bald?
I was just going to say he is the cool. Okay. Do you want me to leave? You good? You want to finish this and wrap this up? You want to button this up? Okay.
All right, go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just having fun with you. Go ahead.
He has amazing hair. He has like a huge, I think he's part Cherokee.
Oh,
very dark skinned. And I think he's only like 32 years old. So not
nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about.
Nothing at all. I would rather
no mileage on the chassis at all.
Nothing. Super wise though for his age. Anyway, I was thinking about I look for validation externally through men. Now you threw me off. Oh, I know. And I said, Reese, your therapist sounds hot. I'm sure he is, Rain, for a lot of women. He just doesn't do it for me because he's too young. He's at least 30 years too young. Here's the deal. I said, because it pertains to what you just said, the reaching externally whilst tearing myself down internally, right?
Yeah.
That tearing down, I thought about that too. And I thought, what am I saying to myself? What specifically? And in Scientology, we don't call these ants. You guys call them ants. We call them demon circuits. And it's just all part of the reactive mind. But I say all the time what I said earlier, which is just like, it's more than you're not good enough, but it's like, you're so ugly. You look like a guy. You sound like a guy. You're super fat. All these things. I say that to myself all the time. And I really tell myself how stupid I am, just uneducated, dumb, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought about it and I thought, that's not even me. Right. That's him. That's him.
Right.
That isn't even me saying that. I don't even know that I really think that about myself. I just haven't even stopped it's like, what do they call that? It's like cog, like those things that are just like
gears
in a machine. Yeah, it's just a gear that's been turning since I was as long as I can remember. And I've never even really like turned and looked at it and gone, stop that. Like, I don't even know that that's how I really feel about myself. Do I agree with that? Like, am I stupid? Am I ugly? Like, have I stopped and assessed and gone, I mean, I know what beauty looks like and I know what smart sounds like. I don't really think that I am stupid or ugly. Like, I just started thinking that and I was sitting in his chair and I was like, that's him. That's not even me. This whole time, I'm almost 40 years old. That's not even me.
Okay.
So
Now,
I've been
Sarah.
looking and scanning. Go on. So
No,
I'm marrying all
go,
these
go, go.
guys that are 110 years old.
Why they got to be 110? Didn't you just do like
I'm marrying all these T-Rexes. Go on.
fossils? T-Rexes? No, you know something? Here's the thing, Sarah. Here's the point I'm making. I wasn't making the point that I'm to be believed. That wasn't the point of the rewiring story with my boy. The rewiring in the page 3 story was this. I'm that guy. See, I don't have any problem at all with what I look like. I don't give a crap. Never have. It's never been an issue for me. Just don't care. So I'm not hung up on it. It's never been a thing. But I'm hung up on a lot of other things massively. Right. So I had to redo my core beliefs too. I had to do it inside a prison cell. Right. I had to do it knowing that there's nothing about this that's made up. I have effed off my entire life. I'm the life of 2 families. Right. That I was married twice, destroyed both of them, right? So I had to go through all of these things. So what I'm talking about is resetting that core belief system that you're talking about. But if you don't think that can be done, I'm here to tell you it can.
Good night.
Because if it couldn't, we wouldn't be here. I promise. I spent 30 years sticking needles in my arms every day because of my core belief system. I believed I was a bad person, right? I believed deep down I was an evil human being and that's just the way it was. That's what I was born to be, and that I was going to be a criminal until the day I died, right? And then I realized that core belief system can be changed. It requires, number one, somebody other than yourself that believes in you. That's an essential thing. On the bright side, finding that on the web, especially in this day and age where people are actually starting to believe this stuff, right? There's a bunch of people trying to help a bunch of people right now. And it's not an easy process. It's not. This is what I meant by getting raw. I'm not going to ask her to take her clothes off. But this process of self-discovery sucks.
That's my other channel.
Hard. What's that?
That's my other channel.
Yes.
Reese's Feetsies.
You're not supposed to. Don't tell everybody that. And they're going to show up.
My manager.
They're going to recognize us. No one hates an addict more than themselves. Boy, is there a lot of truth to that. And you know, this is another thing that very early on when we first started to make videos together, you made a comment. I'm not going to mention the name of the guy that made the comment because he gets about 9 views a day. And I'm not going to bump that up to 10, right? But this guy had made a comment that wasn't particularly nice. And you said, really? No one cuts me down more than I do. You think you're going to get away with that? You think that's going to hurt me? Nobody thinks I'm fatter than I do. Do you remember this? And I remember sitting and listening to it thinking, I'm that dude. What, you going to call me a scumbag? I just got out of prison, bro. Like I'm not aware of that. Okay, but you can.
And you know, it worked.
Core belief.
Because I said that. I said, nobody thinks I'm uglier than I do. You're going to have to do better than that. And it stopped. Yeah,
the once they know that they're not getting what they want, right? They're not the saucer of milk doesn't get put out. But it felt to me like someone that really needs to redo their core belief system, because your core belief system was not put together by you, and that's right. The issue. Your core belief system was put together by somebody that doesn't even participate in this human race thing.
Right. He doesn't even exist. Yeah. I mean, he's not, to me, even a real person. The way he treats human beings, animals, he's racist. He's a terrible person. I never stopped to even think, that's not even me. Like, that's not even, I don't even feel like, Tommy, you know me pretty well at this point. Like, I don't even go on my channel and tear people like Dan O'Connor. I don't say I hate him or anything. Why am I doing that to myself? I don't naturally tear people down anyway. I always think like, wow, that person's, I love how their perspective on that, or wow, they're really pretty. I love their, why do I do that to myself? It's not me. That's not even what I do naturally.
Because self-esteem is not self-esteem. Honestly, you do realize that 40 years ago, it didn't exist. Self-esteem is a way to sell a crap load of books, but self-esteem is taught, right, from someone else, which means it's not self. The question is, Tommy, do you think you're taught as children whether we are attractive or not by our parents? Absolutely. Absolutely. In a perfect situation, there is a family unit where dad is in love with mom, right? And both the son and the daughter watch love. They literally watch it, right? They see how that whole process works. They don't see anybody hit anybody. They don't see anybody raise their voice to one another. Watch what happens in those situations. And you know what? In those situations, the love of a parent to a child, yeah, that's the first thing a daughter is going to say. The first time she's ever loved, she's going to see it in her father's eyes. That's it. And
I never thought
done
about that.
correctly, what's that?
It's you're right. It's also, it's setting an example, like what they see, but it's also what mother and father are saying to them.
No
So it's
question.
two different, it's internal and external. They're telling
I,
them you're this and that, and then it's externally what they're viewing, what they're seeing. That's true.
I
Oh, thank
think
you so
that
much, Dee. Yeah,
I
I
happen to
went for a
think
bright
your
pink tonight.
color, I happen to think black is a very solid color on you, Reese. I think you
Do
look
you
really
really?
good in black. I do. It's a
Thank
recurring
you.
theme, but I like the way you look in black.
Thank you. Thank you. And Dee Dee, thank you so much. Yeah, I went for a brighter pink. I appreciate you noticing.
Zarina, good to see you. I'm glad that you are here. Sorry. Uh,
But that's the other cool thing about this. You remember on one of our last lives, somebody said, "What would you say if you ran into your dad?" Up till now, up till a month ago, I would probably start shaking. I would be very nervous. I would probably cry. I would cower. I was terrified of my dad. Like my dad was a tall, large man that was angry all the time. He was scary. He was doing it on purpose. I don't feel that way anymore. So the way that I think about this, it's almost like I don't value him. I don't value anything he has to offer. So I don't, when I look at it, it's a totally different point of view. And I think that the fear goes away when you don't value something anymore. It's like you don't do anything for me. There is no monster. It's not scary anymore. I don't value anything that comes out of your mouth.
yeah,
You mean nothing to me. You mean less than nothing to
less
me. Like,
than
why would I
nothing.
give you the time of day? So then I start thinking, and I'm like, so that doesn't click with what's going on in here either. I don't value what I'm saying to myself anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to go take all my makeup off in a minute and go, holy yikes. I went from a 3 to a 1.
You know what? Here, you really are one of the funniest people. Look, I'm going to tell a Reese story. I got to tell a quick Reese story. I get a text, right, from Reese, and it says, "What's the name of that guy? Jerry Lewis." That's what
Oh,
my teeth look like. I said, "You have now joined the ranks of the millions of people who said, I went and got these hideous looking veneers. How bad they look." Right? Tons of people say that.
I look
But
like a
yeah,
horse.
you don't look like a horse. Although, if you're going for that look, you got to dry it a little.
I can't do that or I'll get lipstick all over my teeth. Okay, I'll try.
No, don't do it. You don't want lipstick on your teeth. I can't even fix it. I can lean on and go, "Come here. Excuse me." Do you know what I've been doing all week? I'm pretending I'm a YouTuber. I'm actually telling people, hey, do me a favor, hit subscribe and then hit that bell for notification. But we're trying to come up with new and creative ways to tell people to hit the like button, because every single one has already been taken. YouTube has been around for so long that there is no way to say hit the like button that hasn't already been said. So you
Hit
want to
it,
weigh in on this?
hit it, and then party. Guys, how many people are in here?
I
I
see.
can't see.
650-ish.
Oh,
The
dang. You guys
Yes,
listen to me. I said come over and you sure showed
and
up, didn't you?
it was awfully kind. I do appreciate, but
Wait, no. Tommy, isn't that one? Yeah. Oh no, it's this one. What am I doing?
There
I
you
never do
go.
this except when
That's
I'm
the
with you.
one. There you go. There you go. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this so foul that it's going to be remembered forever. So we need to come up with something that's just like it would have been on your channel. Hold on, I'm working on it. Question: when I was in middle school, my nickname was Cow. Nice. Thanks to the connections and the friends in the lifeboat, those tapes are being broken. Reese,
Wow.
you're beautiful inside now. Mary Jones, I love you. That is the coolest comment
That
ever.
is amazing, Mary.
Is that not cool?
That is
Lasso
very
that
cool.
like button. There we go. Lasso that like button with a lifesaver.
Virginia.
Not bad.
Virginia said I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. I hope I look like Reese. Well,
you know what? You could definitely do a lot worse than looking like that smile. You really could. Tickle the like button. Robin, you want it? I should almost tell you. Hold on. I don't want to embarrass Johnny Scoble. I believe when I asked Johnny his opinion on this, he said, gently rub the like button and then don't let us catch you sniffing your finger.
but I mean, don't be like rub it lightly. Don't be like a DJ.
Yeah, you're not smacking the thing. Foul,
Yeah.
make it about balls and you'll get it, Captain. Thank you.
Fondle the like button.
Fondle the like button. There you go. There you go. I knew you. I could count on you people. Well played. Fondle the like button. That's what I'm sticking with.
Fondle it gently.
Yeah, flick it. I think we may have used that, but
don't flick it.
Like button
really I don't think you should flick it. That seems extremely inexperienced.
Well, you never see me flick it. I mean, DJs that smack mixers are frauds. You know what? I trust Rain on this. I'm not sure I know what DJ stands for. I'm a little old, but I'm going to go with Rain on this because I just think she's probably tweak that like button.
Rain is married to a famous DJ, Joe Virus.
For a very long period of time. They are a success.
Yep. He's going to do my next wedding.
Is that right?
Yep.
Congratulations. I better be invited. Blame it all
Thank
on
you.
my roots. So sorry I'm late. Kestrel, if we have to start this over, do you have any idea how late you are?
Caress that like button.
The beginning. What's that?
Caress that like button.
Disc jockey. There you go. I knew it was something like that. Caress that like button. I like the first one better. If you really want to know the truth, I am a big fan of the. Oh wow, Heifer. Good God.
Hef. Leave it to Hef every time.
You know what? Hef does not disappoint, right? Stroke that like button. There's nothing wrong with that either. Spank that like button. Calhoun, are you cool with this?
Dose of Rose? No, there was not a grandfather figure on paternal or maternal side. They were both dead before I was born.
And Casillas, welcome. You look great in green. Your nickname in school was Buffalo Butt. Boy, that came around though, didn't it? You won the lottery on that, right? They came. Who's laughing now? They came back in style. They came back in style.
Blake,
choke that like button, baby.
Whip it good.
Can always count on Hef to make me have to decide whether or not what to hide one of her comments. You know, she dances on the edge.
Deeming, you are hilarious. That's funny.
What did I miss? Reese, we buy your clothes, lipstick, and I burnt my forehead using that hot tool. You have matching. You got a matching burn? Stop it. There's no way.
They're very loyal people, Tommy. They're very loyal.
Photos. If you have a matching
they
burn,
take it
I don't
seriously.
I do not.
Yeah, I burned mine. So yeah, no, it's a sisterhood. So other people had to do it too. Oh my God, Nico.
JB.
Oh my. Okay, that's gross. That is so gross. Never mind.
We have jumped the rails. It is the officially off boop. You know what? I can get behind the boop.
That's PG. That's PG.
I can get behind the boop. I can also get behind the poke. I can get behind the fondle. Off topic. You want to talk about? I'm going to tell you something. This is from the woman that brought you fondle the like button. Off topic. Do people say heavy petting from my bow anymore? Maybe in 1962. Heavy petting?
I
I'm
never
not
really
sure.
understood
That's
what
been
the
used.
definition of that was. Is that over or under the fabric?
Oh, you can go either way with that. But you're
Oh,
not
really?
getting the, it just doesn't get, well, you know.
Use your toe to swipe the button.
What was that?
Use your toes to swipe that button.
Oh,
Um,
let
uh,
us.
I didn't realize, I didn't never know what, I think I was born a little too late for that. Like at third base. I don't know what third base means. Oh my God.
Crazy. Hit that button until it says yeah. See this, Irene? And you are you sure you want to be here? Now she's like, oh, now I'm welcomed. Monica says, lick that like button. That's the spirit. Drop an anchor on that like button. I like where this is going. My
Yeah, I
first
bet
name
you do.
rhymes with a toy dinosaur from the 70s. Taron. There was a kid that
Boob
sang the
graze the like
jingle to me.
button.
Nothing can stop her. She's, oh no, really? Yeah,
You would
that's
think
not
we
very
were on
nice.
my channel. That's correct. I can't believe we're doing this on the boat. I am
Well, you know what? You
appalled.
know what? Loosen up that button, babe. Uh-huh.
Nibble it. Nuzzle it.
I have no idea what that means, but I'm putting
I
it up
don't
there.
either.
But I'm putting it up there. There. Wait. Not if I have anything to
Oh,
do with it. Not if I have anything to do with it.
what does
Sorry,
that
I'm
mean?
just
You
saying.
want it to be Penelope.
Yeah, but that's first base. We're getting buck wild by the third. I'm just saying.
What would be third if Penelope was first? What do you do past that?
I'm kidding.
How do you get past the gut locker? What are you doing?
We've agreed that we were resetting tomorrow's live. I'm going to say the like button, hit it, but don't quit it. It's perfect for the boat. Don't hit that. Don't quit that. Miss Dragon,
I
you
thought
can
this
drop that
channel was
microphone. That is
PG.
perfect. What's that?
I thought this was the PG channel. I thought we skipped over to mine for the R.
PG. Do you have any idea, right? The number of times that we say a word on this channel that will get you demonetized. The algorithm just got sick of doing it, and now they just don't do it anymore. You know, you can't. If you go to your channel and say the word cocaine, you're demonetized. I promise you. You say the word
I'm
heroin, you're
demonetized almost every show I do.
Eventually, they will catch up. Eventually, some human being is actually going to watch your show. But
see, this is why I don't invite everybody from my house to your house. It gets dirty. My people are dirty.
you know something over the shirt says SBTV Tattoo Warrior. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Good thing this live is late, 11:19 my time. See, if we're safe if we go, late. Treat them buttons like postage stamps or a one night stand.
Oh my God. Blake, that's true. We're feral, Tommy. We're feral over on that channel.
That's, you know what? That's probably a really good way to put it. And this is why we can't have nice things. Fancy Nancy says, boobs are first base. I was playing a different game. Nancy, why were you living on a different street? Because I didn't get that memo at all. You were on the cool street.
Lick it and stick it. Oh my God.
Kristen Melinda says, I don't know. I think the boat crew's keeping up.
Yeah, I think they're holding their own pretty good.
Oh, boo.
The Relata boat.
Hey. Has anyone suggested Anik? Oh, you're never living that down. You are never living that down. See, even Anik tends to be a little
Dirty
bit more
mouths.
proper. Now they're all gone. Yep, it is. We have done
we are like sugared up children. Sugared up children on Reese's channel. That is true. Dirty Mouse. That is true.
Who said that?
Dirty Mouse.
That's great.
You could grope the like button.
You could grope the like button. Abigail, putting this to rest, says Google says first base is kissing and making out. Second base is touching above the waist. So some belly button action, apparently.
Belly
Third
button
base.
action. Gross. Who touches the
Oh,
melly-mo?
what were you touching above the waist? You guys were pervs. I grew up in a nice town. Third base is stimulating anywhere below the waist. So ankle action.
So
And
really getting a
fourth
hold of the
base,
knees.
I'm a foot guy. And fourth base or home base is, making the beast with two backs.
Going to Pound Town? Is that fourth base?
Yes, fourth base is. I
Answering
don't
the
think they
bone
call it
phone?
fourth base though. Does anyone say fourth base? Isn't that
I
a
don't
home
think
run?
anybody answers the bone phone going to fourth base.
No, nobody says going to fourth. Kristen says my right eyebrow is now permanently stuck in the raised position.
That's bizarre. That must have been before my time. Who plays with the belly button? That's just gross. I have an innie though, so I've never.
You know what? If I thought my mom wasn't watching, I'd answer that question. I just don't know if mom's watching.
Then we should change the subject because now I'm really uncomfortable.
I was doing that to make you uncomfortable. I was talking about playing with your belly button.
Who plays with a belly button?
From the inside.
The gut locker?
Comment. Thank you both for this chat. Helps me understand my monsters a little better. You know what? I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, it does. I'm glad to hear it too.
You know
Tommy?
what? Blake, honest to God, no one's going to beat Blake today. You understand that, right? The man's on fire. Look at that.
Blake is always on fire.
You should flatter that like button before the video even starts because foreplay is important.
Oh my God,
Gentlemen,
Blake. He's so good. He's so good. Tommy, just in case your mom is watching, yeah, a little bit, Nico. It got weird. It's weird when we're not in my house.
No, I only did that because I know that. Like the other day, I said something. I go, "Yeah, my mom said." And she was like, "Oh my God, your mom watches the show." I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I had no idea.
So.
It's no different than when my mom calls me in the morning and goes, "So I watched some of your show last night," and I go, "Oh no, that wasn't me."
Right? Was it? I don't know. Was Tommy on it? Blake wins always. Good. It's nice to know. The man's got game. To be sure, the man's got name. Oh no, I'm sorry, Scoville mom. No, way too late for that. And you, Davey, by the way, you dropped that one when she was definitely still here, but that was a good one. So in case you weren't paying attention, I'm not going to bring you back to the dry humping comment from earlier because damn. But
I don't know that I've ever done that before. What's the point of that?
Dry humping? It's really kind of a big deal in 7th grade. You know what I mean? It's not so much of it doesn't really catch on so much.
Do adults do it?
No, usually by the 8th or 9th grade, you realize that if you just get rid of the clothing, that process works a whole lot better.
Okay.
It's one of those things that Jason P. Funny, right? Jason P. says, I can imagine all the folks blushing in here. The amount of blood rushing to faces everywhere. And the Midnight Show says, "Hi, Mama Scoville, just in case." I like it. Just in case.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done the dry thing, the dry run. I don't, it's never been for me. But again,
that's not entirely true.
Anybody can get into Club Reese.
Leg in Clearwater.
There's no velvet rope.
Didn't I try doing that to your leg in Clearwater in front of the Mexican restaurant? Or did I dry hump someone else's? That might have been Clearwater.
I think that was a phone pole.
It could have been a phone pole too. Could have been Clearwater, George. It was late, kind of dark out there.
I think it was George.
You know something? Girl after my own heart. Girl after my own heart. I kind of dig a solid makeout sesh with dry humping. It's less sticky.
I kind of like the stick. No? Am I alone here? No, wrong audience?
Smack
wrong audience?
Flip it, rub it down. Okay. Going to be a lot of sore buttons tomorrow.
Oh my. I like the title of this video now even more. Reese and Tommy Get Raw.
We didn't realize where this was going, but as it turns out.
Speaking of Chow Yun Smut.
Yes.
The cruise. Guys, there's still a couple of rooms left apparently, and we have to talk about that, Tommy. I was going to have her on at some point. the cruise. You don't know this, by the way. We're going to the prom, and I had to ask you, which it's not, I don't think that's great, but we'll try.
I don't. Why did you have to ask me? Were you afraid I was going
Because
to
you
ask
did.
somebody else if you didn't get on it quickly?
I don't. That could be the answer, but I think more importantly, I just was waiting, and you just weren't going to do it, so I just said I'll do it.
I'm not. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to put you on blast or dry snitch you out to the entire boat. But I'm pretty
Please
sure
don't
you
say
asked
that.
like
Please don't say
6
that term.
minutes.
I hear something else when you say dry snitch. I change it to an A.
So listen, you.
The cruise is September 21st to the 29th or something like that.
If you're blushing, you're in the wrong place. I think it was when you crawled out of the bushes. No, yeah, no. See, she gets it. Finally.
Yeah.
SBTV Tattoo Warrior says, "Are you ready?" And this is the woman that said, "Half makes me wonder whether or not we should remove those." SBTV Tattoo Warrior says, "Fan of the sticky." Okay, well, we got
but
that.
I am excited about prom night, and so much so, Tommy. Speaking of putting you on blast,
yes,
I got to do it. I have to. Guys, Tommy does some things outside of YouTube that are absolutely the cutest thing I've ever, like, I can't think of anything cuter. It's the cutest thing. Like, if I'm not feeling great about my life, I simply tune in to one of his greatest hits. Tommy will send me audios of him singing a song. So today, for the first time, hold on, it's okay.
This
I
needs to
love
be
it.
explained. Okay.
Hold on.
I'll let you finish.
I don't know this. You don't know this. So today I went to lunch with someone and I was leaving and I've never done this. And I hooked up the audio to my Bluetooth in my car. So I'm blasting Tommy singing. Josie's on a vacation far away. So
that's the only song I will do that to by
okay, that's fine because I love it. But I was thinking you and I we're gonna karaoke anyway. So this was the best thing. I was driving home with this thing blasting and I was singing with you to it. And I was like, we're actually pretty good duo. Like I was in sync. So I'm just really excited about it. And guys, I want you to come on the cruise just for that alone. We're gonna do a little
now here's the thing. Full disclosure, twice, right? I had a text from Reese and I get in the car, start driving, right? I don't text and drive. I don't. But I will leave a voice, right? I will leave a voice. And the first time I did it, right as I started to hit the thing, the song just came on. I was like, oh, and I cranked it. So I just sang. And then today in the car, I was like, just as I was putting the keys on, I was like, oh my God, it's the same song.
I think that's how I started.
But I was like, hey, listen, it's back.
Yeah. He was like, it's on again. And it's so cute because I love that song anyway. Like, I love that song. Now, I always change the lyrics.
Parody, by the way.
I know she does. But that song, I always change the lyrics to, I like my guys a little bit older.
Well, that's not right. You like your guys a crap load older. I mean, let's keep that right, Anna Nicole. I'm just saying.
That was mean.
Oh, I'm sorry. That probably wasn't nice. Oh, that probably was.
Jennifer Coolidge and Best in Show. We both like Soup.
My brother.
That's my favorite movie. We both like Soup. We can talk or not talk for hours.
If you haven't seen that movie, you're missing so much. Move that needle. Concentrate on the button. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I like my guys a whole lot older.
Yeah, Nicole. That really was great. I'm sorry.
Blake just quoted it. Makes me want a hot dog real bad. I love Jennifer Coolidge in that movie.
So good in that movie too, man. And you know what? Look, here you go. She's totally on Nicole. I never wanted to be the first to say it.
Dang, that's hardcore.
No, but you know what?
Hardcore.
Do you know what? Let's explore this fully. because Anna Nicole was hands down top 3 sexiest people to ever be in the magazine. I promise you, that woman was incredibly sexy, and she happened to marry somebody that was slightly older than her. So you do have a little bit of something in common. And
I like
he
my
was
guys
also
a
fond of
little
quesadillas.
bit older. And what? He happened to be a T-Rex? What? Go on.
No, she liked quesadillas. I said she was a big fan of quesadillas.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. She was
Oh,
the largest plus size model they ever had in Playboy, second to Marilyn, believe it or not, if you want to go by weight. But and they were the 2 hottest that have ever been in there. So maybe they should have just figured that out and maybe gone the other direction. But those 2 definitely number 1 and 2 are the 2 hottest people that were ever in that magazine, hands down.
well, it's also
Not necessarily in that
like
order though, because I'm pretty
extra
fond of
crispy.
Marilyn, but you do like them extra crispy. You know what
I
that's
do.
about though? Honestly, it's just because you have not found the right young buck. You'll end up a cougar. There'll be some young 30-year-old
gross.
dude out there. No, you watch. You'll get cougared up. It's just a matter of time.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's a
No, I'm
terrible
just,
thing
you know
to
what I'm
say.
doing, right?
I am not
You know
going
what
to
I'm
flip
doing.
the other way and become a cougar. That's gross. What's wrong
No,
with
but
you?
you know what I'm doing. It's the extremes, right? So
You
I'm
and your
figuring
filthy mouth.
if I start saying, you're going to go down there and find a 20 or 30-year-old, you may fall into that 40 or 50, year old range, which I could still lie and say I'm in my 40s. I just got to get the Just for Men back out.
I would never.
Like I died this thing at you.
Tommy, I'm going to be 40 in a few months. I would never date somebody in my decade. Ever. How dare you say that? I'm grossed out by it. I'm turned
never
off.
date anybody in my decade. Just sounds like something a guy would say, except they're usually saying it the other way around.
I would never. As a matter of fact, I didn't even think about that. Me being in my 40s, I'm going to have to go to like 70s, 80s.
Really?
Probably.
Waiting
40s
for Tommy
is
to
old.
start seeing older women. It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that. Older
Would
than
you?
what, though? What's the question? Would I see an older woman? I saw one today at the grocery store that was just
Motorboat that like button.
Motorboat that like button. That's the spirit. Flap, flap.
Are you into older ladies?
Yeah, I am.
Is that what you're going to end up with, you think? Do you think you'll end up with an older lady?
I don't know that I'm going to end up with anything. I mean, I think this is probably it right here. Check this out. Ready? Never go wrong. Never go wrong. Well, I'm glad you like gray hairs because I'll be really honest with y'all. It's probably going to be all gray in about another 2 or 3 weeks because it's coming in real quick. Cannot believe how fast it turned when I first stopped dyeing it. My brother's been giving me the business because for like solid 2 or 3 years he's been going. Every time I would say you look old, he'd go, yeah, well, you use Just for Men, and it was a joke the entire time. But I've been using Just for Men's out of prison. And he walked in and I had it in my hand. He just looked at me and went, "You gotta be me." He's like, "You lowlife." Oh, he gave me.
I like it so much better now that you're letting it go. It's super silver fox.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely you wait by the cruise, it'll be completely white. So.
Oh, I'm into that. Yeah, I'm into it.
Got some pretty solid significant others, Witchy. There's no 2 ways about it. Very, very solid significant others. They work.
That's weird. I just am kind of creeped out, like imagining like you and your girlfriend, but your girlfriend's like 70.
Why would that creep you out?
I don't know. It just doesn't feel right.
You really should have. So what you're saying is I need to, you want me going for a younger woman, which literally in any other chat would get me probably lit on fire. But here, because of you, I could probably get away with saying, oh, you know what? Maybe a younger one. No,
wait,
you know
but
something?
what do you mean younger? Like 29? That's gross. Quit it. Where are you going with this?
Oh, see, look at that.
Dirty bird.
A minute ago, I was going older and you were crapping all over me. Now I have just even glanced in the other direction and I'm instantly a perv. First of all, how old are you? You're
39.
about to be 40.
No, I'm 39.
Yes, so you're 39. I was told there would be no math. So am I 15 years older than you?
14. Because our birthdays are 5 days apart.
Okay.
So you're going to be 54. I'm going to be 40. We're like almost 14 years apart.
I stopped counting at 52 on account of the fact that it's my favorite number. So I'm staying right there.
I didn't say go for a lot younger woman. You're the one that said that. That's
Well,
gross.
14 is a lot younger, by the way.
14? Oh, not really.
That's a lot younger.
54
That
and
would be
40? That's your average couple.
that would be probably the biggest gap that I would have ever had.
A 54 and a 40-year-old's average. That's your average couple.
That's your average couple?
It's
Where?
average.
Where is this average?
It's
You know what
average.
you're supposed to do? And someone's going to back me up on this, man. How do I feel about a 66-year-old asking for a friend? I'm telling you, I saw a woman today that was probably 66 that was really a very, very beautiful woman. In fact,
14 years is a lot. What a rookie. Do you know how many years older my husband was? 60.
Yeah. Anna Nicole, we
60,
established this.
60
right?
years older than me. Get out of
Is
here with
that-
these rookie numbers.
Somebody-
14
Calhoun,
years.
Google how old was the gap between Anna Nicole and the whatever he was. I was going to try to throw it out, but I don't know what they call a centurion, a centurion. What do they call them? When you bust the 100 mark, you're an octogenarian at 80. Come on, you've dated all those. What do you call 90-year-olds? Right? What do they call them? I know the 80. I don't know the 90.
I don't know.
You don't know? Right in your wheelhouse.
I
I'm
just know
48
how to.
and could never date younger than 45. Okay, I could see that.
Ooh.
I do need them strong enough to take out the garbage while I watch my ghost shows in the morning. Sweet. Yeah, I like that. I respect the crap out of that. This is
14-year
someone who
age
understands the
difference.
game and says, "This is what I want. I'm going to go get it." I respect that. I don't have a problem with that.
14 years is nothing.
I don't know. Well, so here's the deal. My largest gap was
Like
11.
a Roman soldier. Your largest gap was what?
A decade.
That's it? Wait, that's a lie.
No, 11 years.
Tell the
11 years. 63 was the difference with Anna. Do you see this? Anna Nicole? Huh?
She has me beat. She has me beat.
Yeah, from here on out, I swear to you, if you knew how often I'm dropping Anna Nicole on you, until you marry a younger man, and by younger I just mean
I did marry a younger man. He's 65. He's
I'm
a
thinking
spring
someone
effing
maybe
chicken.
that was, say, post World War II. You know what I mean? Like maybe somebody born after the atomic bomb was dropped. Just a thought. You know what I mean? Maybe in the 50s. Oh no, where's half? What is it?
Tommy, where am I going to get the protection I'm seeking if I marry somebody from the 50s? You don't get it.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay. I see where you're going with this. Yeah,
There's so
you wouldn't be able to find a top 50-year-old, is what you're saying? Yeah, some of us stay in shape. I promise. There's a couple of us out here in decent shape. You can find one. 65 is born after World War II. I was. You know what? We'll get one more correction out of the same thing. I apologize. I was going for the hyperbole.
I need clarification.
Please.
Is 11 years really your age gap with as many rodeos as you've been to? 11 years?
Oh, do you mean? Oh, no. We're not on the same page. What I meant was, in a long-term relationship, the biggest gap that I ever had was 11 years. That's what I meant.
Someone born after the Eisenhower administration.
Well done, Frank Humphreys. Well played. Well played.
What do you think a happy medium is, Tommy? What are you going for? What's your goal for me here?
What's my goal for you?
Yeah, what is the sweet spot? Yeah,
I promise you, they'll demonetize me.
What?
Hold on a second. Yeah, see, everyone's thinking the same thing. I need to control my thoughts on this.
I don't understand.
The same thing. I think he meant in their 50s, not from the 50s. You see? Did you catch that?
Do you not really have what's the sweet spot? What are you thinking? I would never be with somebody in their 40s. A guy in his 40s, it's like a child. That is
So
so
you would, so,
immature.
but you would go to Poundtown with a dude in his 50s.
Oh man, I don't know. He'd have to be kind of wrinkled. There'd have to be something that ages him a bit. He'd have to be.
Okay, a little gray. What are you going for? Some little gray do it?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely, definitely. Yeah. 50s just feels really young. I mean, does he have a limp or anything? Is there a cane or a?
How about some little gastric issues and some and maybe a little incontinence and some
Oh,
erectile dysfunction? What
maybe
exactly are you
popping.
looking for?
That's good. Popping some tums. Uh,
Tubs and Cialis, right?
yeah, that does it for me.
The
Definitely.
geriatric speedball.
Definitely like some GI issues.
I'm
Does
too
he have like
fresh
an
to look from 50.
endocrinologist or at
Jay
least like a
Kelly, don't feel old.
nephrologist?
Don't feel old.
He's got to have a few specialists under his, like a nephrologist, an endocrinologist, maybe a. That does it, Mary. Definitely that does it. A neurologist, absolutely. Yeah, that's a serious
How about
one.
this?
A urologist, that feels
How
good.
about this? That was so wrinkled. I just wanted to iron him. Oh
Yes,
wow,
Viagra and
Tracy.
Depends,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and
depends on what.
yeah, um, a urologist, an archaeologist. Um,
Yeah, that's what she needs is an archaeologist. Gonna dig that crap up, right?
yeah,
Oh
I
man.
I think yeah, definitely some Centrum Silver. Yes,
Hey,
yeah,
hey, not for nothing. I'm hoping that we can get them for the sponsor for the lifeboat. I am Tommy
Centrum
Steele.
Silver
Yeah,
or
coming live
Viagra.
to you from the Centrum Silver Lifeboat.
Oh,
No, I don't
cool.
need Viagra. Thank you.
I don't know your life, especially below the belt. I don't know. I only see you from the neck up.
I can look from the neck down and still be fine, right? Feetsies. Throw them out there. Let me check out some feet. Throw some
So
white
you
socks
can
on there.
go
I got
bone hunting. I
yeah.
love Blake Reed. You have no idea.
Is Blake going to be on this cruise?
So you want them
Blake,
dependent on you,
get on the
Reese?
cruise.
No, no. I don't want them dependent on me. No, I honestly, guys, I wish we had time to get into that. I really don't know what the old man obsession is. I think it's weird. And the more I do this journey with therapy, the more I do kind of question it, to be honest. I'm joking about it now. I don't think I would ever go for anybody over 60.
And I think you're probably right with that.
And honestly, not because I'm not attracted to it. Ooh wee, where was I today? Oh, I was taking a walk. I was walking the dogs, and a cute old man opened his garage door and came walking out. I was like, "Hello, hello." He was super old. But here's the thing. I was so in love with Fred that losing him, it's one of those things. It's like adopting an old senior dog. You're gonna lose him. It's really hard to do that, and I don't want to do that over and over and over. So I think it's probably better to come down a little bit. I'm gonna be 40, so I don't know if 60 is enough though. 40 is up there. They'd have to look older.
Well, look older. I think Kiss Freak's got it figured out. He says Reese's next boyfriend is still buried in Egypt. Might be a, might be a little bit over the top there. I don't know that
When the
that's
boys hang to his knees.
hey, hey, too soon. Hear me? Too soon. Uh pull your pants up to your chest and jiggle your change a little bit. Yeah, I've got a plan. Don't trip. I got this. I've already been buying Werther's mints. I got her figured out. Don't worry about
Yeah,
about this.
definitely have a Werther's in their pocket.
I
Honestly,
got this.
Tommy, you know what I think it is? It's not so much their age, it's the personality. Older people are super confident, they're super mature. I don't like immaturity. Like well, that's not true. Fred was incredibly immature.
I'm
But
sorry. It was their what?
what?
Confidence and personality.
Yeah.
So you could fall in love with somebody for their confidence and their personality.
Yep.
Wow. I thought the
Oh,
whole
that's all
world
I'm
was
attracted
shallow. It
to.
just checked out. I just thought that the whole world was shallow and only looked at like body weight and things of
Nope.
that.
And he was super, super, super flirty. And that's what really got me. That man was 95 years old. And I was getting ready for work. And I said, "What do you think of these pants? Do you like these pants?" And he had not missed a beat. And he winked and he said, "I like what's in them."
Nice.
Super
Nice.
flirt.
Yeah,
Super flirt.
some confidence. Confidence is a good
I
thing.
love it.
There's a legit question. There you go. Question, Reese. Do you look particularly older or tough
Do you
men for
think you
security?
look too particularly older? Okay.
Like,
Get it right,
go
babe.
ahead. Finish it up.
Do you think okay. Do you think you look to particularly older or tough men for security and protection, especially when you have to think about Huxley? I don't think about Huxley at all there in that situation, but 100% yes. I think that older men, for whatever reason to me, equal security and protection. Guys my age do not offer that, in my opinion. Even if they really do, I don't see it. So an older guy to me is established, he's cool, he's calm, he's seen it all, and he just wants to have his lady and be protective. That's like when I think of an older guy.
I think you nailed it, right? You just covered everything. Oh,
Werther's original.
that I put that up there like 2 minutes ago. I can't believe you just saw that. I thought you read it and didn't find it funny. I was like, damn, I thought that was wicked funny.
No, it's hilarious.
Now you finally see
Dirty
it.
Mouse is really funny. No, I do think that. I only have Fred to equate this to, but I'm telling you, all I can say about that guy,
CC, what happened to CC? Did I miss something? Oh, I'm sorry. Finish what you're saying. I'm sorry. I did not mean to interrupt you.
Fred is the only person I have ever met. When I immediately met him, that guy never let me tear myself down. He was so sure it was enough for both of us. Like he was so into me and he thought I was so like I say this all the time, but I hear it in my head still all the time. I hear his voice. He would just randomly look at me and it happened a lot and he'd go, "God, you're pretty." And it was like always just off, like just out of nowhere. I don't know. It would just happen. So like things like that, I've never been with a guy like that. He just didn't let me fall. He
I
never let
love
me
it.
kick my own ass. He wouldn't let me do it.
Yeah.
It was just he just was always there.
Well, and you
And
know
I
what?
have it tattooed
And you
on me.
believed it. And you
Have it
believed it.
tattooed. I have it tattooed on both of my arms. Fred would always say to me, he would just get randomly, he would just go, "I'm on your side, kid." And then like I'd get ready to go to work and he'd go, "Hey, I'm rooting for you." So it was like this, it was just like a constant safety net. It was never like a tearing me down thing. That's confidence, Tommy. That's confidence in me and you. Like he just had it. It was crazy. Every old man has a tan jacket. Yes, they do. I have Fred's. I will not get rid of it.
That is just really sad. That really
That's
is. That's just sad.
that's
Come on, man. So there are guys out there, believe it or not, that guys out there that like that stuff. I read it somewhere. I'm almost sure of it.
so now what I just said, does that make sense to you as far as like the protection, like the I'm rooting for you, I'm on your
I
side, like all
I
that
had
stuff.
that figured out. I had that figured out in our last. I really did. I've been working on this. I think I've been.
I
I
love that,
find
Blake. Wish I could click on it.
you can. All you gotta
No,
do
I
is
can't.
say, "There you go." How about that? You need a man that
Yes,
makes you feel
that's
special
I love
and
it.
only has tunnel vision for you. Someone that stares at you because you're the prettiest sight in the room. Younger men can do that too. He's right.
Ugh, I've not seen that, but yeah.
Melissa, welcome aboard. Great to have you. You know something? Here's the crazy thing. I will now. We've made mad progress today on the lifeboat because Reese is never again going to say on the lifeboat, well, guys like, right? And then finish that sentence with something that, as a blanket statement, tells me what every single man on planet Earth likes. She's not going to do that anymore because she has literally said that she realizes that that's a BS thing. You know, you did say that here tonight, right? Well, you did. So we're not going to do that anymore. Yeah.
Oh no, we're definitely still gonna. I'm a creature of habit. Come on.
Oh, I like it. I like it. But then, you know something, that's I think that's a good solid marriage kind of thing. And then the foreplay is when, you know, when she says back, yeah, let's do this, then it's, you know, that's the foreplay starts. That's pre-foreplay. Right? That's just, you're just so comfortable with your mate. You're like, hey, what do you think? Knock
Absolutely.
that out real quick.
I'm
You know, do
totally
me a
comfortable
favor.
with that part. That part I've never been uncomfortable with.
Good. I think that's probably a healthy thing. Stay thirsty, my friend.
Tommy, you know what's really cute? I have to say something before we end though, because somebody pointed this out too about Butch.
Uh-huh.
This is so cute. When
He
we
was
were,
tan.
why do you keep answering for me? You just run this show. It's not
I
right.
try. I try.
When we were on my channel, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I was saying it started with Aaron, and I said Aaron is a total border collie. Like he's like running in and out of the cones, and he's going through the spinny wheel, and he just can't focus, and he's jumping up and down on the stuff, and I just said that. That's all I said. And then all of a sudden, everybody in my chat was like, okay, now do Sterling. Okay, what's Huxley? Okay, what, like everybody made me name them as a dog. It really got kind of out of control. I am a corgi because I have incredibly short legs and a big round butt. But somebody said, what is
You have
Tommy?
thought this out.
Yeah. Well, this is one of my few talents. Somebody said, what is Tommy? And I thought about it and I said, he's a street dog. I said, Tommy is a German Shepherd, 100%. And then the other day we were talking and somebody goes, didn't you call Tommy a German Shepherd? We were talking about Butch. And I thought that was so cute. And somebody said, he's your Butch. And I said, oh my God, that's so cute. Isn't that cute?
Yeah,
I think it's cute.
kind of gotta
Hmm?
I kind of got to back Tito on this one.
Oh, what? What does that mean?
I said I have to back Tito on this one. Who doesn't love a big round butt? Let's be honest. That's what I was backing.
I have
Tito
never had complaints about it. Every guy has said it's good.
Well, how about that? You've there's something. So look, so now we've already knocked out two body parts that you know you have absolutely no problem with, right? If this continues, we've done two sessions.
What's the other one?
If this continues, your feet.
You like my feet. I don't care about my feet.
Everyone that saw your feet liked your feet. You have
actually think you're the only person. Nobody else has this weird foot weirdness that you have.
You're right. I am the only guy on the planet. Those 45 million foot fetish sites out there are all for me. Can you imagine? Like I've got this smorgasbord of foot stuff that it's gonna. If I look at one a second, right, for the rest of my time on planet Earth, I'm going to see 1/1000th of it. Vic, good to see you.
Anyway,
glad to see
I
you.
thought you were a German Shepherd, and I thought that was cute.
I am a German Shepherd.
And you kind of look even more like one with this color going on, this color combo.
Yeah, you know what? I look like an old German Shepherd, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
The
It's
muzzle,
good.
the muzzle's starting to turn.
Yeah, it's good.
You know what I mean? Now you get the tennis ball and I do this number.
Blake, gross. I had no idea you were a foot person. No.
Why is that gross, man?
That doesn't match up with Blake. Blake, we're going to have to talk about this. I don't know. People lost their minds over your feet, Reese. Oh my God. Then we need to start something up. Tommy, I've asked you to be my agent on this. Are you in or are you out?
I'm in. Reese's footsies. Reese's feetsies.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Now her shoe size is bigger than a 6. I'm going to go with 8.
Mm-hmm.
Is it an 8?
Like 8.5.
See that? I'm not saying I looked before. It was just a wild guess.
It's intense.
Blake is a people pleaser. Certainly in the comment section.
Yes, he is. And he's hilarious. I love Blake. Blake, do you normally come over to the lifeboat or are you just here because I'm here? Do you normally have Blake? He's so fun.
Yes, he has been here before, to be sure. It's fun that bare butts are sexual when they're literally the fortress surrounding the poo cannon.
I'm sorry?
You could probably live another 55 years and not have heard this sentence put together if Hef was not here. I'm just saying that's a unique sentence, and you probably could have avoided it. But it's funny bare butts are sexual when they are literally the fortress surrounding the poo cannon. That would be poo cannon.
Leave it to Hef.
Just so that you know that we're in agreement. That's just amazing.
I love
Absolutely.
happy.
Yes, it is. It is funny. Cece, have I ever said hello to Cece? I don't know that I have. Cece, welcome. Big fan. Glad you're here. And the last name's Shelby, too. A great name. It's a lot of heritage in the whole Shelby.
I knew it. I hate to admit I usually come over to your channel, Reese, more so because I can keep track of your showings, but I've been trying hard to watch Tommy's lives. That's so sweet,
Oh,
Blake.
so
You're so
kind.
supportive. I love Blake Reed.
Heron's a slippery one, too.
Yeah.
He's
a border collie.
unpredictable. Yeah, he's unpredictable. He goes live when he goes live. Reese Powerful. The You Embrace stepped into just 1 year. Leaps and bounds from where you were, environment you were in, to where you stand today is truly hugely beautiful thing. So proud of you. You know what?
Sarah, I love Sarah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. Spicy foods? Did you say?
What are you talking about?
Spicy foods?
I love spicy food.
Did someone tell me that you have a new watch? Did I just read a comment that says something about a watch? You have a watch?
I don't have it.
I'm a watch
No.
guy.
I have a turquoise watch I found at a thrift store. Remember I showed it to you?
Oh, you did? Yes. I love that watch. You got a battery put in it?
What?
You have a battery put in it. Yes.
I did. I took it and had a battery put in it.
Excellent.
And it's not working anymore, actually. What does that mean?
So it means you got to bring it to me and I'll fix it. That's what it means. Chug it. Don't get me going. I'm not chugging.
Tommy,
my days of that are over.
I just had a battery put in this like a month ago. It
No,
stopped.
I can fix it.
You can?
That's what I do. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I do.
You know I love turquoise. I thought that
Yes,
was
I
so
do.
cool.
Yeah, we'll just fix the watch part. It's not a problem. I promise. Guaranteed. Never met one I couldn't fix.
All right. Well, I'll come to Tucson one of these days.
There you go. Bust another watch, and we'll do a 2-piece while you're here. Bum. Knock them both out. Tommy can fix it. See that? See, retired red knows. I can absolutely fix that. In fact, at any given point, there's usually about 7 of them in some form of repair right now. Tommy and Reese joined me at the Texas Pinball Festival this weekend. Well, you can't tell me on a Tuesday. I would have loved to have come down there for pinball.
I would have too. Give us a heads up.
I would have loved pinball, man.
Are we gonna do any traveling?
Yes.
Where are we going?
We're gonna do a Texas run, guaranteed. Your Movado needs new guts. I'm good with Movado. We're definitely going to Texas. We've got the Houston, Dallas, and that whole area is great because there's a bunch of people there. But we're going to go everywhere.
I would really like that.
You have a Spiro T. Agnew watch. That was your grandfather's? Good Lord. That may be the coolest thing I've ever heard. You may not believe this, but I'm going to tell you. This is the gospel truth. In my high school, they used to vote where you were, like they would predict where you were going to be in 20 or 30 years, right? And they're not, they're funny based on whatever stupid things that you've done or whatever. But they predicted that I was going to be spotted on a deserted desert island where Spiro Agnew and I would both have been kicked out of the United States too. What's the word they use? I can't remember the word, but they were going. I was basically there. I was going to be thrown out of America. It's pretty funny looking back on it. How
kind of wild.
Spot on they were. What's that?
That's kind of wild.
It really is.
It's kind of out there. It's a little extreme.
You got to see my yearbook. You'll love it. Small town. You'll really get a kick out of it.
Love to, actually.
I love that, Blake. Don't take it off. I think that's one of the coolest things ever. Watches are fantastic. I'm wearing one the same age as that I am. I'm wearing a birth year watch. I love it. So I love old things.
I always have liked your watches.
Anna Nicole here, my friend. What's that?
I've always admired your watches.
See that? She's always admired my watches.
Always. Since the first time I saw that thing, I really admired it.
Yep. Mixed doubles, $2,500 prize. Not sure where that was going, but I'm in. You want to play mixed doubles?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. So I was trying to do a dirty innuendo kind of thing. I didn't even have any idea what where I was going with it, but I was just hoping you were going to nod and say, let's do this. But fine, I see how it is. You know what? That brings us to the top of 2 hours. Hey, Swatch,
dang,
don't ever
that
get rid of
went
the
fast.
Swatch.
You know, I always do 2-hour shows, so it's really nothing on me. But thank you for having me.
Well, I personally just can't keep it up for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
It's,
I can go. I can
it's
keep
an
going.
age thing. It's an age thing.
This is my second round tonight, actually. I've already gone once, so and I'm still good.
My understanding is that yeah, well, you know.
See, and if that's an age thing, that's so do I go
No, I
younger
think
then?
they make pills for that now. So I think I'll be in some good shape.
Good for you. But if you go older, you're not going to need those pills.
If I go with an older woman, why?
Yeah.
We're not going to do it? No, so you're not
Well,
going to want to do it with me or what?
she's probably not going to want to go as I mean, do you need the pills? Aren't the pills for like
Perhaps.
hours and I don't know.
Sorry. Hey, how you been?
This is different. It's one way to live your life.
Don't trip. Yeah, I'm going to do it in the morning. All right. Thank you.
Dang, Miss Dragon.
Sorry about that. That's my my girl. Cialis, you say? Nothing wrong with calisthenics with Cialis calisthenics? No,
You have a girlfriend,
2
Tommy?
hours?
Tell us
That
about
was
her.
Sphinx Calhoun. You notice he's not in the chair, right? He was just calling to tell me that.
I can't see him. How many times do I have to tell you that?
At least several more, obviously.
Grandpa?
Since I didn't get it on that one. Yeah, well, I'm getting a little older. It's part of the charm. But
Okay.
you know,
Guys,
well,
thanks again. I hope you don't leave a
Squirrel
bunch of
uses the
crappy
phone.
comments.
Yes, she does.
I tried
on
to
a regular
behave.
basis. I think you were fantastic. You didn't do any. Oh, you know what? I wish you could see this. Can you see that cat?
That is so
paws.
cute. Look at her paws. Her little footy paws. Oh,
And that's
she's
her
so
nose.
cute.
You see her little white snout?
Yeah,
That's her
she's so
nose right
cute.
there.
Squirrel is so cute.
She really is. She got her hand.
Will you
over the
stay
top
on
of
for
her
a
head.
minute instead of jumping off like
absolutely.
you always do? Okay.
Do you know she says that every time just so that the entire world thinks that she just thinks it's funny to have people think that I hang up on her as soon as we're done. But I don't do that.
Actually, it's
right?
pretty common.
It's because I did it to Aaron, right? But I didn't do it to you. So don't pick on me. I did do it.
But you do it on the phone all the time.
No, I don't.
Just keep sending me all those fun songs and watch pictures.
It's a deal. All right, everybody.
Bye,
Captain
guys.
Tommy. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.